My name's Adrian, and we're doing a little cooking show here. It's like Simple, Cheap, Age. That's the name of my show, and we're gonna start off here by making some drinks. We're having a really simple sangria today. So it's always very important if you're making your friends drinks to have some ice. Nothing like an ice. That seems like a nice glass of ice. This is an expensive wine. How much did it cost? It's 13.5% alcohol. So there's about 6 drinks inside that bottle, 6 drinks worth of alcohol. So $13.50. It's a little over $2 a drink, which is, you know, it's not cheap, you know. Cheap is like $1 a drink. So. And we're just gonna mix it with some orange juice here. You shouldn't really mix expensive wine with orange juice, but we like our sangrias, so that's how it goes. So here, let's try the drink out, and we're gonna get in the mood. We're gonna get in the mood for a little cooking, age style. This cooking show is not supposed to be complicated. You're not supposed to have to go out and buy like all these crazy ingredients and shit. It's just like cooking for like people that don't really know how to cook. So if you're a professional cook, you're not gonna like the show, you know. This is like a super easy meal that everybody should know how to cook. Shepherd's pie. So you know, if you already know how to make a shepherd's pie, you can watch and maybe I'll do a few things different, and you can complain about the way I did it if you want. So it's all good. We're gonna start off by putting the oven at 350, and we're gonna boil some potatoes to make our mashed potatoes. It's gonna be a small shepherd's pie because I don't have a lot of ground beef. Usually you should do it with about a pound or half a kilo of ground beef. It's a good amount. I have a nice little casserole here that I always do my shepherd's pie in. This is a handy little casserole here. We're not going to peel the potatoes because we want it to be fast and easy. And you don't have to peel the potatoes. The only problem I have is these potatoes, you just wash them, give them a nice little scrub. If there's any ears growing out of them, which I don't have, just pinch them off. One of my potatoes is a little bit bad over here. That's no good, you don't want that. There you go. Now it's fine. That's all good. I like to compost. Save the environment a little bit. I do care about the environment. Everybody should care about the environment. Normally I would do like 4 to 6 potatoes. But I'm doing a small shepherd's pie here. So I got 3 large potatoes. Just gonna cut them in chunks, and you can throw them in the water after it's boiled, or you can just throw them in now. Doesn't really matter. Some people say it's good for the potatoes to heat up instead of just going straight into boiling water. So we got the potatoes going. That's gonna take the longest. So we're gonna fry some stuff. We're gonna fry up some ground beef. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit here. Usually, I think you're supposed to just fry some ground beef. But we're gonna mix it up a little bit. We're gonna put some carrots, some celery, and some onion. We're just gonna try to get a little bit of extra vegetable inside this meal, you know? Because, you know, that's basically the healthiest thing to eat is vegetables, fruit and vegetables. So we're gonna try to mix it up. I have some olive oil here. What's canola oil? Some canola oil. People don't like frying, you know, frying's no good. It's not good for you. Try not to use too much oil. And don't use too much oil, and don't let your oil smoke. Your oil should never smoke. And there's like canola oil, and there's olive oil. Those are the only two oils I use. Well, I use sesame oil, I guess, sometimes. Sesame oil is more of like, you want to add it for taste instead of as a non-stick ingredient. So look, I'm not a very good chopper here. And it doesn't really matter. I'm not at a restaurant here, so it's not really that important. It's not really that important how well chopped everything is. And you could just throw this straight in, even though the oil's not hot yet. I have some celery here that I had lying around. Usually, like when you're doing this, you're frying onion, garlic, carrots, and celery. I think that's called like a mirepoix or something. That's like standard procedure. Carrots, celery, and onion and garlic. But like, I don't want to overpower the taste of the shepherd's pie, so I'm not gonna add any garlic. We're just gonna fry up some onions. Turn that up a little bit. Some onions and some celery and carrots. How much does this meal cost? It's kind of complicated. Let's see. Potatoes are worth about $1, maybe 75 cents plus milk and margarine. Probably $1 for the mashed potatoes. The corn is another $2. I'm using 2 cans of corn here, $1 each, so that's $3 total. The vegetables that are going in here, maybe another 50 cents for the onion, carrot, celery. So that's $3.50. And then I have about $3.50's worth of beef. So
how many pounds of beef?
That's like 325 grams. Normally you do with a pound. A pound of beef usually costs about $4. So this is about $3 worth of ground beef. You gotta buy your ground beef when it's on special, you know? I always buy my ground beef on special, so I stock up on it and I cut it up. I buy it in like a family pack. I cut it into 4 and I freeze it, and then I pull them out 1 pound at a time and I use them like that. Plus the salad. Salad, I got salad, maybe another $2 for the salads. This will feed like 4 people. If you do more of a regular size shepherd's pie, it would feed probably 6 people, 4 to 6 people.
Okay.
But this is a little bit of a small one we're doing here. Well, I think compare that to like, you know, eating in a restaurant or something. You're gonna spend like you know, $10–15 with tip and tax and everything. So this is a pretty relaxed meal. It's pretty simple. You can play around with it a little bit. You don't need to fry up vegetables here. You can throw even some red pepper or some zucchini in here. Would be really nice if you wanted to try to make it a little bit healthier. I'm using extra lean ground beef, you know, which is pretty healthy. You know, a lot of people don't like eating ground beef, but like, you know, it's cheap and it's meat. It's not bad. You know, chop up these carrots. My ex-girlfriend Mur taught me how to make shepherd's pie. I didn't really cook a lot when I was younger, you know, and like 10 years now, 10–15 years I've been doing a lot of cooking. And I really like cooking, you know, so. What I like in a recipe is when you have everything already in your home. You don't have to go out and buy stuff. I mean, looking at this recipe, like, you know, there's not a lot of stuff that you have to go out and buy, you know? Like, everybody should have potatoes, carrots, and celery in their house all the time. I mean, I can understand if you don't because you don't eat them. But like, if you have carrots and they need eating, you could just boil carrots and have it as a vegetable on the side. If you have celery and it needs eating, you can make some Bloody Caesars. Put a stick of celery in the Bloody Caesar. It's a good way to use up your celery. When the potatoes start boiling, maybe we can add the ground beef in here. So our potatoes are boiling. We got like pretty big chunks of potatoes in there. So we're gonna boil those potatoes for 20 minutes. Setting the timer there. We're gonna break up this ground beef. The first time I ever wear this. What do you think? Is it classy?
Looks awesome.
I have some Italian heritage. My dad was born in Italy. Okay, look. So we're gonna add some salt. A bit of salt. Some pepper.
A lot of pepper.
Yeah, a lot of pepper. Pepper's good. Salt, pepper, and we're gonna go with some herbs here. We're just gonna add some oregano. I think that's about the best thing to add to a shepherd's pie. So look, we're gonna fry this up for 20 minutes. We're gonna cook the potatoes in 17 and a half minutes. We're gonna come back on camera and finish this off. This just fries on, I mean, it's not very hard. Low temperature here in your beef mixture for 20 minutes. Everything's gonna be cooked through. So yeah, we're just frying up our stuff here. This is ready, you know? We can whatever, just leave it on or turn it off or whatever you want, doesn't matter. Just want the beef to be cooked. Normally when I make a meal, I like meat, starch, salad, and vegetable. Those are like my main 4 components of a well-balanced meal that's healthy. Cheap, easy, and healthy. There you go. Cheap, easy, and healthy. That's what we're going for. So, okay, so yeah. So the potatoes are the starch. The ground beef is the meat. And then vegetables, we got onions, carrots, and celery. And then we got 2 cans of corn over here. So we got a lot of vegetables. I think we got enough vegetables. But we're going to do a salad as well. We're going to do a nice little salad here. Usually I make a salad with cucumber and tomato. That's it. Two tomatoes and half an English cucumber. But today I just so happen to have some lettuce. So we're gonna, you're not supposed to cut lettuce, you're supposed to break it with your hands. But see how fast that was? Then we're gonna add some tomatoes and cucumber, which we're gonna slice up, and there we go.
Okay.
Giddy up. Giddy up. Giddy up. That was that was a pretty quick salad, eh? Like, wow. Eh? I ran out of store-bought salad dressing, which I get at the food bank. So I made a red wine vinaigrette.
Lucky.
With 2 parts oil to 1 part red wine vinegar, salt and pepper, and that's my salad.
Beautiful.
Somewhere in here I have a nice. So we got 2.5 minutes here. I'm gonna turn off my stuff. We can start assembling. But there are 3 components to the shepherd's pie. The mashed potatoes, the beef, and then the layers. That's the layers and the corn. So we're gonna put the beef on the bottom, then the corn, and then the mashed potatoes. If you wanted to make a fancy shepherd's pie, you put some grated cheese on top. But I don't have any cheese open right now, so I'm just gonna do like you know, an easy, cheap shepherd's pie here. So we can start. We can start building our. This is like one of the cheapest, easiest meals that the ingredients are. What did I say? Simple, cheap, and what?
Easy,
Healthy.
healthy.
Yeah, simple, cheap, and healthy. That's the
You know
motto of my cooking show.
How many calories per serving?
Oh, we don't have the slightest clue. We don't know how many. I'm not a calorie counter. I count money. Not. So there we go. That looks okay, even though I only had like 325 grams of ground beef. You wouldn't really want much more than half a kilo, else you're not gonna be able to fit everything in your. You gotta drain your corn because you don't want too much liquid here. Sometimes when you make a shepherd's pie, you get a lot of.
That's a shitload of corn.
That's a shitload of corn. Because.
I don't know about that much corn.
No.
I like corn, but you could do maybe like a can of corn. Is that a can
Honestly,
of corn?
Save a whole dollar on the meal.
There, my potatoes are ready. You can do just 1 can of corn. Probably better. I like to use cream corn too. Cream corn is really good. 1 can of cream corn. Maybe like 398 milliliters would be fine. I just so happen to have cans of regular corn that needed using. So I'm using. This is so we don't dirty.
The sieve. You just like use the.
And the potatoes are kind of tender, so like they're gonna fall apart in the sieve a little bit.
Okay, so you're gonna use the lid to prevent them from falling out with the water.
That's a nice little technique that I learned over the years. So look, we got we're gonna add a little bit more salt here. Just a little bit. And some more pepper, I guess. I like pepper. I got some margarine here that I'm just gonna throw in. Pre-measured, about a tablespoon of margarine. And we're gonna top that off. And some milk. We're just gonna eyeball this. Try to see how much. You don't want too much milk. You want just the right amount. Reckon that was about a 1/4 cup of milk. This is about 4 regular sized potatoes. I had 3 potatoes. One of them was quite big. So this is but potatoes are all different sizes anyway, so you can't really. And we're just doing this old fashioned style, you know, with the potato masher. This is so much, like, look at how nice my mashed potatoes are. And I didn't have to dirty my food processor and, you know, lose a bunch of the, you know, this is super convenient. No electricity required. And you can see I left my skins on the potatoes, and I don't know. That's okay. Skin is actually healthy from what I hear. I think the skin on most items is pretty healthy. So that's it. Those are our mashed potatoes. They're a little bit dry. You can add maybe a little bit more milk to that, I guess. No big deal. I like a nice little spatula here. Make sure you get everything out. $3.75 for 40 minutes.
How do we know when it's done?
Oh, you don't.
Okay.
It's all cooked anyways. Like, it doesn't matter, eh? Like, I don't know why we're throwing it in the oven. We could just eat it like that if we wanted, I guess. I don't know. But when you make the shepherd's pie, you're supposed to throw it in the oven. So let's see how this baby looks. Brown little peaks a little bit on it.
Look at all that corn.
How does this look?
Beautiful.
Pretty good.
So this is a shepherd's pie. Pretty standard procedure. You can fuck around with it a little bit. Let's dig in and see how this is. Think it's a success? You know, you don't have to do everything by the book all the time. You saw I like did a lot of weird things, you know, well, not that much, but you know, you can play around a little bit, do your own style. I mean, you could do that with cauliflower instead of mashed potatoes, mashed cauliflower. And there you got like a low carb diet alternative. You know, you can add peas. Some people put peas in their shepherd's pie. I don't know where you put the peas in with the beef or instead of the corn, but you can use peas too. So that's it. Age. Simple, cheap, and healthy. That's what it's all about. No complicated stuff. Stuff that everybody can do. You know? Stuff that's easy to find. Most of the stuff you should already have in your pantry.
Cheers.
Giddy up.
Cheers. Giddy up.